Let's get things started. Ready? Go!
Hello and welcome to Bounding Into Comics. My name is John Trent. I'm the founder and editor-in-chief at Bounding Into Comics. Today I got a story about a rumor claiming that actors, filmmakers, and other Hollywood creatives are refusing to get vaccinated. Before we get to that, I'd like to ask if you could please hit that subscribe button if you are not already subscribed. If you are already subscribed, please make sure you are still subscribed. YouTube does like to unsubscribe people for whatever reason. And then hopefully by the end of this video, I will have earned your like, and that you'll give us a like, and that you'll also share this video with your friends and family. So let's get to the meat of the story. As I said, a new rumor claims that actors, filmmakers, and Hollywood creatives are refusing to get vaccinated. This rumor comes from the former editor of The Hollywood Reporter, Matthew Bologna, as part of his newsletter titled What I'm Hearing. In this latest newsletter, Bologna writes, quote, "We're now more than a year into the awkward restart of film and TV production. Studios are spending hundreds of millions of dollars to keep cameras rolling around the world. Vaccines are readily available, and as of Monday, the Pfizer-BioNTech shots are approved by the FDA. And still, there are way too many actors, filmmakers, and other creative people refusing to get vaccinated." Bologna then went on to quote an anonymous executive who told him, quote, "You'd be shocked how many actors are just saying no." The executive added, "Like, what are we even doing if the leaders on our sets aren't leaders?" Bologna himself would go on to claim, quote, "I've heard from a few agents that several clients are, quote, just super protective of their bodies, end quote, whatever that means, and thus don't want the vaccine." Bologna would later go on to detail conversations he had with what he calls top production executives on why they were not mandating vaccinations. These conversations reiterated that a number of actors are not getting vaccinated. Bologna explained, quote, "Some actors and others simply won't get vaccinated, and talent being talent, the studios, or more likely the filmmakers, don't want to lose them and potentially impact the quality of the production or the continuity of the shoot." It's not just actors. Bologna claims these top production executives also detailed that staff, quote, in hubs like Louisiana or Georgia, end quote, are not vaccinated. So that's the gist of Bologna's rumor. And the rumor comes following a report at the end of July that Netflix was mandating vaccines for all of its productions in the United States. Deadline reported, quote, "Netflix has become the first major Hollywood studio to implement a blanket policy mandating vaccinations for the cast of all of its U.S. productions, as well as those who come into contact with them on set." In early August, Deadline would also report that Amazon Studios was in discussions to have all of their U.S.-based productions to require vaccinations, quote, for actors as well as those who come into contact with them on set mandatory. These reports came after SAG-AFTRA, or the Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Television and Radio Artists Labor Union, announced new COVID-19 guidelines that allowed producers, quote, the option to implement mandatory vaccination policies for casts and crew in Zone A on a production-by-production basis. While Bologna believes vaccine mandates are, quote, worth it, end quote, the effectiveness of the vaccine has been called into question as numerous people who have received the vaccine are still getting infected with COVID and its variants, specifically the Delta variant. Israel, who has vaccinated 78% of its population, and those 12 and older, has seen a massive spike in new cases. The American Association for the Advancement of Science, Science Mag, reports Israel is now logging one of the world's highest infection rates with nearly 650 new cases daily per million people. They add more than half are in fully vaccinated people, underscoring the extraordinary transmissibility of the Delta variant and stoking concerns that the benefits of vaccination ebb over time. They further report, quote, as of 15 August, 514 Israelis were hospitalized with severe or critical COVID-19, a 31% increase from just 4 days earlier. Of the 514, 59% were fully vaccinated. Of the vaccinated, 87% were 60 or older. Yuri Shalit, a bioinformatician at the Israel Institute of Technology, told the magazine, there are so many breakthrough infections that they dominate, and most of the hospitalized patients are actually vaccinated. He added, one of the big stories from Israel is vaccines work, but not well enough. Not only that, but people are also dying from complications resulting from the vaccine. Most recently, the BBC reported that BBC Radio Newcastle radio presenter Lisa Shaw died in May from, quote, complications from the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine, a coroner has found. Specifically, Newcastle coroner Karen Dilks said, quote, Lisa died due to complications of an AstraZeneca COVID vaccination. Dilks added that she died from a, quote, vaccine-induced thrombotic thrombectopenia, which is described by the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute as, quote, a rare blood disorder. In TTP, blood clots form in small blood vessels throughout the body. The clots can limit or block the flow of oxygen-rich blood to the body's organs, such as the brain, kidneys, and heart. So given the fact that we're seeing people dying from complications from the vaccine, we're seeing that the vaccine effectiveness isn't all that great with data from Israel, one has to wonder if the people who aren't getting vaccinated in Hollywood are making the right decision. While Baloney thinks that everyone should get vaccinated and Hollywood should implement vaccine mandates, it doesn't seem like executives are going to do that, as Baloney himself notes that actors don't want to do it, and that lots of people who also work on those productions in places like Louisiana and Georgia are not getting vaccinated either. What do you make of this latest rumor that actors, filmmakers, and other Hollywood creatives are refusing to get vaccinated? Do you think they are making the right choice? Let me know in the comments below. My name is John Trent, and you've been watching Bounding into Comics.